What the fuck is going on, everyone? I'm Val.
And I'm Kayla.
And this is
20 What Podcast.
Boom da doo da doo spooky.
Boo! Oh my god, here we are.
Do we scare you?
I know. Do you notice anything different about us?
Yet again.
We are new.
A new season.
A new studio.
A new spot. And guess what we don't have?
A podcast manager anymore.
No podcast manager. No silly little man Peach.
Exactly. We got ghosted just in time for our annual ghosting episode.
It's almost like he knew.
It's almost like he knew, but you know what? We're going to make you guys wait a little bit.
Oh, we're edging you.
We're edging you. So we're going to tell you our story and a little bit, but
yes.
We want to tell you some of your stories first and talk about ghosting overall. So let's just dive into it.
Yeah, let's just do a good old swan dive. But low-key, can we also just acknowledge that spooky season was great this year? And I don't know, maybe it was just me, but I felt good. I felt spooky. I was watching my Hokey Pokey, all that fun stuff.
I actually watched my first Halloween movie last night.
Yeah.
Halloween Town.
Ever? For the season.
For the season.
You watched Halloween Town?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It is good.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Spoiler alert, they saved the town.
They do.
Yeah.
Which is your favorite of the Halloween Town franchise?
The one where it's the gray ghost and they're like, ooh. Is that Halloween? Which one is
I
that?
like the second one, Calabar's Revenge.
I think that's the first one.
No, it is not. Halloween Town is just Halloween
Revenge.
Town.
Revenge.
Halloween Town 2, Calabar's Revenge. Halloween Town 3 is Halloween Town High. And then number 4, when they got rid of Kimberly J. Brown and they replaced her with Sarah Paxton, that was Return to Halloween Town. And honestly, I thought Return to Halloween Town was better than Halloween Town High.
Okay, so she obviously knows her shit. I don't, but that's okay.
I do know my holiday movies very much. You guys will really get to see that over the whole span of the third season. I especially love cheesy Halloween movie. Any cheesy holiday movie. I love the movies.
Oh, go to the movies. Yeah, we have actually a really fun season for all of you. It's going to be kind of centered around the holidays and just a 20-something fun in their ways through the days.
Well, also just the holidays can be very, very stressful in the sense of there's taboo family topics that no one really wants to talk about, those awkward moments when you're sitting at the table and but we're gonna get into that throughout the season. We're also going to be having guests on. We're not just gonna be talking about Christmas. We are gonna be talking about other things too.
Yes,
all the holidays. We actually have
fun.
someone coming in today.
Yeah, we're doing our ghosting episode today, and then our first episode we're recording with a special little guest, so you'll have to stay tuned.
Woo! And you might just learn something about Hanukkah.
Yes. So let's just get right into this ghosting episode.
We've already said that.
I want to start off, though, with asking you a question. When do you think is the proper time to ghost? Is there a time and a place for ghosting, or is it just... I think there is, but some people might think differently.
You think... Okay, can you elaborate?
I just feel like there's a certain amount of time where you don't really owe anyone anything, where it would be okay to ghost them, but there's a time period where that ends. Does that make sense?
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm judging you and that I've never ghosted anyone. To be honest, I think it really is a circumstantial thing. And I think for me at least, and maybe it's because I think I can read situations, so I'm oh, everyone else can feel that too.
Yeah.
So I think often both of you kind of know after the first date when it's done.
Yeah.
If it's going to work or not. I don't know. And maybe it takes 2 or 3 dates, but, and especially if you're hanging out for a few times, I think you should probably, give the person a heads up. Give them, that respect. But have I ghosted someone after a first date or, a hookup that was, oh my God. Oh my God.
Let's start with our own ghosting.
I hooked up with this girl from Tinder.
Okay.
This was a while ago.
All right.
And, I don't know what, I don't know. It was just really, really bad. And, I wasn't really attracted to her.
I remember this.
And I don't know what I did. I don't know why that happened. We didn't even fuck, but, even, slightly hooking up was just, I don't know, I just wasn't into it. And I I did ghost her. And
You did? So how did you ghost her? Like, what was your method of ghosting? Like, what did you do?
I just didn't ever text her again.
Yeah. And how many times did you see her?
Once.
See, I think that that's okay. Like, you could have been a little bit nicer about it, but at the same time, it's not that wrong. Like, you didn't owe her anything. Like, you only knew her for one date, so it's like,
couldn't even tell you her name.
Yeah.
What?
Really?
No, I couldn't.
That's so funny. So if you're listening to this, what's your name?
I don't really care. I am very happy right now. I'm like very happy with the people that I have in my life right now. That one date that we like made out and weirdly dry humped for 3 hours. Like, I'm good. Okay, your turn.
Okay. So this is a ghosting story from college. I was definitely an asshole in this situation, and I'm going to say that before I tell this story because I'm fully aware of my actions.
Okay.
So there's this guy, it was like my freshman year, first semester, that like I was like on and off with for so long. So he was just like really tall, I'm really tall, like I was like, okay, cool, and he had a big schlong. But anyways, so we were hooking up for a while, and then he like, not a while, sorry, we were hooking up for like 2 weeks, and then after 2 weeks, he asked me to be his girlfriend.
No!
But like, when he asked me to be his girlfriend, we were laying down after hooking up.
No.
So I said yes, and I was like, sure, like I'll be your girlfriend. So this was like my first like not real boyfriend, but like it was just I was away from home. I was living like, I don't know, it was weird.
Was this before?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But so we dated for like a week or two, and like I just felt so weird about the situation because I felt like I was kind of like pressured into it and I didn't really want to do it. So I was in my friend's room one night, and there was a couple guys there, and I was telling them how I was feeling, and they were like, you should just text him. Like, you should just text him and break up with him. And I was like, I can't do that.
Wait, the guys wanted you to break up with him?
So then one of the guys took my phone, and he typed it out for me, and I was just like, honestly, that's good enough. And so I let him send it, and I just like broke up with him over text. But it was only after a week, okay? So it was not like it was like a 2-year relationship. So that happened, and then I kind of just like ghosted him, and we didn't really talk. And then after that, I believe like we hooked up a couple times. Like anytime I was drunk and I texted him like, let's hook up, he'd come right over. But then I just like ghost him after that.
I need to see a picture of this
guy.
I
will. But then I just like ghost him after that. So then I started dating my ex. Like, this was an actual relationship. We were together for like 2 years. So I started dating him the end of my freshman year, and we dated up until the beginning of my junior year. So for 2 years, like I was loyal to him, like it was just me and him. And then we broke up, and then I come back to college senior year, I'm newly single, and the first person I see when I get to campus is Mr. Tallman. And I was like, oh, you know what, I should hit him up again, like we should hook up or something, you know, like the rebound from like my relationship. So I hit him up, we hooked up, he was like, oh, like we should go on a date. And I'm like, okay, like we can go on a date. And we went to the Woodstock Inn up in New Hampshire, and he like took me there. Like I got a pizza, we had a couple beers, like we had a really wonderful time. Like we drove back, we smoked a blunt, and then we get to my house. And I was just feeling really weird about the situation because I was like, I'm not looking for anything right now. Like, I'm just trying to have fun my senior year. So he's like, do you want to hang out? And I was like,
honestly, I wasn't really that close with you when you were dating. Like, until like after, like we became really good friends after you guys broke up.
Yeah.
So the thought of you like dating, I've never seen you be in a relationship.
I know.
So like to hear this behavior, especially like, is very different.
I honestly,
I love it.
I hope he never listens to this, but I just didn't respect him.
Oh.
I just didn't, like, I don't know, like, there was just no, like...
I say oh as if I am ever against disrespecting a man.
Men are trash and I don't respect them. I just, like, I didn't have respect for him, and I think that's why it was so easy for me to just, like, there's just no attachment for me, and there was for him, and that's where I was in the wrong, so, sorry.
But, like, honestly, ghosting happens in even more than just romantic settings. But we're going to get into some submissions.
Yes, we have a couple submissions that we want to talk about. So let's just dive right into that.
All right, this person sent in an email. Well, let's see. I had 3 wonderful ghosting experiences that I can remember when I first moved to Utah. The dating scene in Utah was so hard at first since I'm not Mormon and a teacher where I couldn't meet anyone at work. Oh, okay. So she's a teacher. First boy, matched on Bumble, talked for over a month before we had our first date. That's a long time.
That is a long time.
He was a gentleman, like opened car doors, held my hand, bought me dinner. We had a sleepover. We had some fun, 3 times, in fact. Then he never spoke to me again. I even asked, like, what's up? Can you let me know what's good? At least tell me why we won't work out. But nothing.
Huh.
Whatever. Lame. Doesn't deserve you. Moving on. Second point. Very interesting fellow. Okay. He called me before the date, and I was, like, secretly hoping he was canceling. Been there so many times. So many times. I just like my bed. Me, not her. No. Just wanted to talk about his friend drama. Meanwhile, I was trying to nap since our date was in, like, 4 hours. Red flags immediately. He was shorter than me, and his Tinder profile said like 6 feet. It was supposed to be a dinner date, but no food. I ordered an Angry Orchard, so he ordered an Angry Orchard. I didn't talk once. He talked about his friend drama the whole time. I pretended my nephew needed to pick me up, and I pretended my nephew needed me to pick him up and ran. He texted me that, sorry I had to leave early and wanted me to go out with him and his friends sometimes. I ghosted
The
him.
friends with all the drama.
Yeah, why would you want to go?
That's a situation where ghosting is okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was okay.
Yeah. Especially, like, if someone's a dick, you don't owe them any explanation.
Exactly.
You're just a dick. Okay. Guy number 3. He was 30, so I thought he would be mature. Yep. Nope. Also, wasn't my type, but, like, maybe that's what I can't go for. I get that mentality, like, okay, this isn't what I usually go for, so maybe it's a, like, good, different thing for me.
Yeah, switch it up.
So we had a date, went back to his place, and was like, sorry, not being that girl again. He's had no problem with it. We had a second date, we had fun, then, of course, stopped talking to me. Then, when I was over him, he texted me and wanted to meet up to explain. So I met him. He was telling me that when he drinks, he does drugs and doesn't want to be a partier anymore and get into trouble. I was very supportive and even met his friends and thought we were cool. He was like, I really like you, blah, 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 and then ghosted me. Okay. Now I'm happily in love in a strong relationship, so had to kiss the few toads. Oh. Friend of ghosting was a different story. Damn, it was hard at first to find my people.
So now we have another submission that I am going to read.
From someone cool.
I know.
He almost broke anonymity.
Okay. One time I ghosted this guy after a handful of really great dates and such surprisingly strong connection because he couldn't fathom I had my own opinion and thoughts. Oh, God.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
He couldn't fathom that she had her own opinion and thoughts.
Oh, girl head. No thanks.
He had a big secret that he waited to tell me until a big event for one of my college extracurriculars. Extracurricular was done.
Yeah.
I did it. Anyway, he finally told me over text, and it wasn't anything insanely terrible. He was definitely self-conscious about it and was being responsible by telling me, which I appreciated, but I was fine with it. Anyway, he kept putting words in my mouth and how I wasn't actually okay with it, despite the fact that, like, I never said or actually thought that. Sir, you're cute, but calm down. Mood.
Goodbye.
Anyway, after the less than pleasant conversation about how I'm an adult, he was a few years older, so therefore more mature. Okay. And I'm fully capable of speaking for myself. He half-assed white male YouTuber apologized.
So, like, I'm sorry if I did anything that upset you.
Oh my God. The conversation organically ended and I just never reached out again until 2 months later. He super liked my friend on Tinder. Now, you'd think he'd be smarter than that, considering I was in like 3 out of 5 of her pictures. We were together when it happened. She hardcore swiped left, mostly just because he wasn't her type, and I texted him and I thought it was hilarious. To which he apologized again for letting us fade away and didn't accept or acknowledge the fact that I didn't reach out to him either, despite of me reminding him of the fact. Poor man's nice guy. He has a cat now, I believe. Hope he's gone to therapy.
Hope he's gone to therapy.
That was a good one. That's just like a classic example. That's a classic example of just like toxic masculinity. Just, men,
Yeah. Okay, so this is not a ghosting story, but It has a ghosting backstory. I've been going on Facebook and saving things, and this is something that was saved a while ago. So if you listen to last year's ghosting episode, you know that I was ghosted by my social media manager boss.
Yes.
Yeah. So long story short, if you missed that story last year, guys, I was working one-on-one, being a social media assistant for this girl, like 1 day a week, and then the pandemic happened, and we were working with restaurants, so obviously, like, it was hit hard, budget cuts, whatever. And so eventually we stopped working together, and she was like, don't worry, you're still gonna have a job. And then when I reached out to her to, like, keep working, she just completely ignored me both times. So yeah, she ghosted me and then unfollowed me on all things, but she forgot that I had access to, like, all of her files and shit. So this was also when, this was, like, right after George Floyd was killed, with this, like, emergence of this surge of the Black Lives Matter movement. Obviously, that's not when it started. But, and she just had some very, like, pro-cop and, like, anti kind of racist things to say, honestly.
Yep. She done.
Anyway, so she ghosted me. But when I was working for her, she added me to this group, and I don't really give a shit, but the group's been archived, so whatever. I don't care if I get in trouble for this. It's called the Skinny Confidential.
Wait, what?
It's so stupid. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. It's the Skinny Confidential.
What is that?
It's like a Facebook group, like, of all, like, these, like, mostly white women that just, like, go in there to, like, be like, help me. This is different.
Why is it this? I don't like the name of it. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever. So, I just thought this post was, like, really funny. I'm not going to name any names. Obviously, I'm not going to say who this girl is. But, like, tell me what you think.
Okay, let's hear it.
Kissing question.
Mwah.
Girls in long-term relationships, do you guys still make out often? If you do make out, is it only when it leads to sex, or do you guys still have intimate moments as passionate as it was when you initially started dating? I myself am big on kissing. It makes me feel the chemistry and the passion. It makes me more into sex if it leads to that. My boyfriend is not big on kissing or making out. Recently, he's been kissing more and said that he just doesn't like tongue, but even so, it really bothers me that I feel a lack of a stronger connection because I feel like he cares so much about being masculine and he's afraid to be vulnerable and has intimacy issues. He also says his ex was a terrible kisser, so they never kissed, and admitted I was good, but doesn't love it still, but it ruins it for me even when he now says he likes kissing me without tongue because I feel like he's doing it just for me when he's only obviously being cutesy. IDK what to do, but it makes me want more romance and I don't feel special. We don't look into each other's eyes or make love. It's always like rough or kinky, and I know he's never made love like that, but I need it. He doesn't like being emotional and wants to be manly.
Wait.
He thinks it makes him weak, but I want more emotion. IDK, I was just wondering if you girls experience the same thing in a relationship always. Okay, but then I go to this girl's, like, profile page, and it said widowed for a second. What the fuck?
Plot twist, she killed him.
What the fuck?
Okay, I feel like, okay, my thoughts on this whole situation. I feel like that's definitely a really, like, a valid problem some people might have, but does that belong in a Facebook group? That's, you know what I mean? Like, that, I feel like this little TMI.
Look at them, though. She's really pretty. You want to know what I think? Wait, what do you think about the situation, though, besides the Facebook group?
The situation, I mean, I don't know, because, like, some people have their preferences. Like, I'm not a huge fan of tongue either. Like, throw it in once in a while, that's fine. But, like,
oh, yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of it either. But, like, I don't know. Like, say what you're going to say. Maybe we'll spark an idea in my mind.
Oh, he's gay.
Oh, you think he's gay?
Yeah. Because, hear me out. I don't know. When I didn't realize that I was a fucking lesbian, I thought, like, sometimes I had to force intimacy. Not in the way that, like, I didn't want to have sex. I just mean, like, I had to try to create feelings that were not organically there. Yeah. And then when I kissed a girl for the first time, I was like, yeah, I really liked it. But I felt this feeling that was, like, nothing I'd ever felt before. And I was like, oh my God, that's why people are like, like, that's what that is. Like, it just, like, clicked.
Yeah.
And I, like, feel that way now, and, like, even, like, if I'm dating someone for a while and we still make out, like, I feel that shit because, like,
you're into it.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah.
But when I was in the closet, I wasn't as into it. You know what I mean? And so in my personal this just could be projecting. And these are two strangers that I don't know. But from my point of view, it's, like, easy to just fuck. Like, I feel like it's probably easier for him to fuck her because he can just, like, close his eyes or, like, just, like, get lost in it. It's, like, not anything that he has to be super mindful of. But, like, when you're kissing, that's, like, even more intimate. Like,
no, it's
he just needs a hole.
Because sometimes, like,
you're more than a hole, sweetie, but that's just what I'm saying.
Just being fucked and making love are, like, two different things.
100%.
So, like,
if he'll only fuck you and he won't make love to you, I think that's a huge red flag.
There's a picture of him, and I'm looking at it.
So the evidence along with the picture, I'm sorry,
I wish
honey.
we could just show this, but that's, like,
and
totally...
I would like to say, this looks like a picture... Oh, we won't. This looks like a picture that was definitely, like, her profile picture or something, and her new profile picture is alone.
And she's widowed.
I don't know where that came from.
Because
in the thing it says boyfriend, and this post was only a year ago.
Oh.
So they would have had to gotten married, and he would have had to pass within the past, like, 10 months.
Well, hope all is
well. I don't
well.
think that happened. Okay, anyway. Oh.
All right. For the moment you've all have been waiting for.
I feel like we need to come up with a name for him.
Anthony. I'm just kidding. No.
Frederick.
Frederick. Okay. So our podcast manager, Frederick, ghosted us.
Frederick is not his real name.
Yeah. So don't try to look for him. So let's start from the beginning. Let's start about, how we met him in the timeline. Of all that.
So to start off with, Frederick had another friend, Felipe.
Frederick and Felipe.
Frederick and Felipe. So Frederick and Felipe. No, we need two different names. Frederick and Nicholas.
Yeah.
They both were partners, and they were like, hey, come on and do this cannabis podcast for us.
Hold on. I think I need to start a little bit earlier than that.
Oh, okay.
So I knew Frederick before the podcast a little bit, not in real life. So Frederick followed me on Instagram, like, probably 2 months before he reached out. And he would interact with all my stuff and, like, message me, but not in, like, a creepy way, but just, like, in, like, oh, that's cool, or I agree, or cool. Like, I never got creepy vibes, so, like, Frederick is not creepy at all. I'm not trying to give him that kind of name. He's just flaky. Anyways, so he was messaging me this whole time, and then we were just starting off our podcast, and I think he was kind of just, like, watching it, and we, got up and going, and then I think about, like, how many months into our podcast would you say it was?
It was like probably like 4 months.
4 months into our podcast, he finally sent me a message. He was like, hey, me and Nicholas have this, should we say cannabis marketing company? Yeah, because cannabis redefined. People know who it is.
Yeah.
So he said, me and Nicholas have this cannabis marketing company, and we wanted to do a podcast mini-series. Like, we'll pay for you to record your podcast at a professional studio if you do this mini-series for our company. So me and Val talked about it, and we were just like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. And we were excited because we were going to have this awesome space. This is going to be this cool opportunity. We didn't kind of realize that we were biting off more than we could chew too fast because we had only launched a podcast and we've never fucking done a podcast before 4 months earlier.
Yeah.
But what do we know? Like, life in your 20s is trial and error, and that's something that we can make very clear, and it's going to be clear when we're 30 what, 40 what, 50 what, whatever the fuck, you're never going to know what's going on. Spoiler alert.
Exactly. And I think that, like, before we move any further, like, I am really grateful for that experience.
Yes.
I feel like we've learned a lot about podcasting. We've learned a lot about, like, ourselves and our boundaries and what we're okay with and what we're not okay with. So this wasn't a bad experience overall. It just ended a little bit sour.
Yeah, but I honestly could have predicted it.
I know. I think we were just so excited to have these tools and this opportunity that, like, we didn't think about, the outcome.
So, fast forward, we get into the studio, we're doing it, we're so excited, and then probably not even, like, 3 weeks into it, one day, like, Nicholas didn't show up, and then, like, he was literally on an airplane that day, and then like a week later Nicholas was in Miami and he wasn't even a part of the team anymore. So he was only there for like maybe 3 weeks, not even.
So then it was just Frederick.
Then it was just Frederick and us two. And sometimes it would just be Kayla and Frederick, and sometimes Frederick, it would just be me and Frederick, because we would have to go in and record individually. But things towards the end, the communication was just never fully there.
Well, I feel like I need to go into a little bit more detail.
Yeah, you can, please.
So I run the social media for 20 Watt, and I love doing that, and it's my passion, and I love it. And when we started Cannabis Redefined, they were running the social media, and they were just having me send them stuff, but they weren't posting it consistently, and I was just like, if I want it done right, I'll do it myself. So I was like, give me the password and stuff, like, let me do it. I edit all the content anyways, it makes more sense for me to do it. So I did it, and it was a lot of work running 2 podcasts, but I want to make this very clear, is that I volunteered to do it, and I wanted to do it because this is what I want to do as a career, and I'm still trying to build myself as a social media manager, so getting the experience was wonderful, and I learned a lot, and I do not regret that decision. However, I took on this project, and I was expecting that, you know, my ideas and my thoughts were going to be at least listened to or responded to, but I was wrong. I would text Frederick about different ideas and stuff, and sometimes he'd answer and sometimes he wasn't, and it was really frustrating. And you know, so he was paying for us to record this podcast, which was really nice, but at this point, what I was doing for him, I was charging clients $1,200 a month. So, you know, I was really on top of like trying to monetize this, because it takes a lot of time to run these podcasts. So I'm like, I need to be compensated for my time, or I can't do these 2 anymore, like, because I need to put my thoughts and my abilities where the money is. So he just really stopped answering me, and I know we were both getting fed up for a really long time. And one day, like, I was just like so sick of not being answered and sick of just like being brushed off to the side. Like, I texted Val, and I was like, Val, I think that we should just focus on 20 Watt. And
I backed you up 100%.
Yeah, she backed me up 100%. I was like, I think we should focus on 20 Watt. Like, Cannabis Redefined was plateauing us, and you know, I was trying to, you know, go between the 2, and like, it was really hard, and I wasn't giving the resources that I needed or deserved. So yeah.
And like, it got to the point where what we were doing was not initially what he signed us on for, and especially what you were doing with the social media. And like, also, we would have to, like, for cannabis episodes, we would have to look up so many things, because like, we only know so much, so we had to create content through research, which is time and money there, but we weren't even seeing any of that from him.
Exactly. Which
so
I
he would
did
have,
enjoy that.
He would have, but he would have a lot of like empty promises.
Yes.
Which was a really big thing for me. And my thing is, like, I can tell when someone's lying. Yeah. 100%. I am a lie detector. I am a feeling detector. I can just tell any of that. And I like the few times with, we'll call her Mary, with the office manager where we were recording, the few times with her, we had some mishaps where like I would go in or we would go in, and we would be like, oh, like, did Frederick call you? And because Frederick would have told us that he talked to Mary. Yeah. But Mary would be like, Frederick never talked to me. Yeah. And we thought that Mary was a kook in her own, and she was a bitch. Yeah. But I fully believe that he lied to us a few times and did not actually contact her.
Yeah, I agree. And it's just like little things like that. It just built up over time. And then, you know, we finally had enough. So I texted Val, and I was like, hey, are you cool if we end Cannabis Redefined and we just cut ties with him and just focus on 20 Watt, get a brand new setup, which we did. And she was like, yeah, let's fucking do it. So I texted him. This is where the ghosting comes in. So if you look at our texts, like, I texted him 2 times before that, and he didn't answer me. So I think I texted him on something like September 24th, and the last time I received a text from him was September 11th. So I've gone like the whole month without hearing about this guy. So I texted him the day before, because I was doing a lot of work for Cannabis Redefined, and I was like, oh, this is what our analytics look like. They're doing really well. You know, this is what we should do to, you know, keep him going, whatever. And he just didn't answer me. So then I texted him again, and I said, hey, Frederick, like, we really appreciate the opportunity that you gave us, but this isn't working out anymore, and me and Val are no longer moving forward with Cannabis Redefined. Like, sorry, but we're done. And he never answered me. to this day, we still have not heard from
But
him.
was posting pictures on a boat.
Yeah, no. And he follows us. He still follows us on everything. And like...
And I hope he sees this.
And I hope he sees this too. And I hope, like, we're 20 Watt Podcast. This is going to be our season. This is going to be our year. We're gonna bloom.
And we're unapologetic. So you can come at us and say that we're throwing someone under the bus. We're not naming any names.
No.
If you figure it out,
that's fine.
What the fuck ever.
But the amount of hard work that went into both podcasts for, it just, I don't feel bad.
And that's something that we can get through a lot of people's heads. Just be unapologetically you.
Yeah, like, exactly. If, like, we're nice people if you don't give us a reason.
I'm kind. I'm not nice.
You cross a bitch, though?
No, exactly.
Don't cross us. But
yeah. Boo goes the jack-o'-lantern.
So in conclusion, men are trash.
Yeah.
That's like, I feel like that is literally the theme of this episode.
You're trash.
Yeah. But yeah, so, yeah, that's what happened to us. The story's out. The tea is spilt. Should I go get a napkin?
Yeah, I just cracked my back and I spilled all my back juices.
Ew.
Before we wrap up, I want to play a little bit of Halloween this or that.
Okay.
Okay.
All
right. Would you rather carve a pumpkin or smash a pumpkin?
I'd rather smash a pumpkin.
Me too.
Because my ADHD would, like, carve the pumpkin for, like, 10 minutes and get sick of it, where the smash, I just get one good, like, rush of energy, and then I can pay no attention to it.
I feel like it would be really, really satisfying to smash a jack-o'-lantern, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather scare or be scared?
Scare.
Yeah?
That was organic. I really...
That was organic. I just did that. I didn't even plan that.
Okay.
Okay,
next question. Don't do that again. That scared me.
All right, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Princess costume or superhero costume?
Superhero.
Yeah, I agree.
Val let me borrow that the other day, and like we both look so good in this. Like I just need to order another one so we can just wear it every day.
It's like nothing makes you feel sexier. You would think that like a latex bodysuit, like even though I've gained weight since I wore it last year, it still makes me feel sexy as fuck. And my titties, ooh.
Get yourself a lace bodysuit.
Get yourself some titties. Latex.
Latex.
Okay. Like fruity candy or chocolatey candy?
Chocolatey all the way. Would you rather go to a pumpkin patch or an apple orchard?
Okay, so actually, rewind. I went to an apple orchard 2 weeks ago.
You're allergic to apples.
Yeah, I shit my brains out. So I'm going to the pumpkin patch. Still have apples in my fridge if you want them.
Okay. Oh, nerds or gummy worms?
Nerds. Oh, but my favorite candy is the Nerds gummy clusters.
So you get the best of both
Literally
worlds.
a combination of the two, and it's amazing.
Okay.
What about you?
Gummy worms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sour or just like the clearish ones?
For gummy worms, regular, clear. But like Sour Patch Kids, watermelon Sour Patch Kid.
Gummy bears or sour bears?
Regular bears, because those are authentically what they are.
You would really pick like the gummy, like the bear type worms. You would pick those over the sour worms?
Oh wait, you're right. The trolleys?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's blasphemous.
It depends on the brand.
Okay.
I would only get the trolley lollies.
Yeah, that's the only thing you can get.
Because there's other worm brands that are sour that are just garbage, so only trolleys. Yeah.
Yeah, but the very berry ones.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Fuck me up.
Yeah.
Those ones are so good.
They're really good.
Okay. I think that's... would you rather go trick-or-treating or watch Halloween movies?
Trick-or-treating.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, trick-or-treating. And then maybe end it with a movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
While you're in like a sugar coma.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So where can you find us on the social medias?
You can find us at 20 Watt Pod on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and not Facebook. We've been saying that for 3 seasons now.
Yep, and it will continue because it's just kind of a thing now.
Yeah.
If you want to send us a story like the one that you heard today, you can email us at 20wattpodcast@gmail.com.
Do it.
Or go to our website, 20wattpod.com.
And we have a little submission form. You can submit some stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much. Oh, wait, hold on. What's your personal socials?
Oh, I'm Val Eats Veggies on Instagram and One Bro on TikTok.
And I'm Michaela Nicole X16 across all the platforms. So you just search me in the Google search.
And you'll find her. Stay tuned next week. Or maybe I don't think next
it's
week.
It's not next week. It's in it's sometime soon.
Just stay tuned in general because we're here.
And we're coming at you. Our next episode, we got a guest. So be tuned.
As always, we love you. Forgot how to podcast. As always, we will. All right, we will see you next Tuesday.